but now I know it, so I'll start with it. Good morning, everybody. Jack, let's go startuptrading.com. It is 9:08 here on the 21st of March, and title of the video is "Can we get a lower mid setup?" So I'm referring to the what just happened here. There we go. Referring to the indicator. The day frame indicator, the lower mid being that green line, ideally speaking, eventually get a setup there. We continue to fall. We're down 220 points. We're down 1%, a little over 1%. We haven't quite got to the discount that I have here. Let me go ahead and show you what that is. That is going to be that old 50% retracement from the weekly chart. That's what I'm going to use here today, and it is quad witch, so I would not be surprised to see higher levels not really matter. But come Sunday, Monday, this is going to be an important one. I actually have to go to a monthly chart to show you where this anchor comes from. Actually, this is the high of 2021 to the all-time high. 2021 to the all-time high. That's where that level is from. That we're basically coming into play here today. Now, if we don't end up holding this, like I do think there's a possibility we get to sub 18,000. This is really kind of the only thing I have in the way between this and 18,000. You can see this selling pressure is continuing here. It'll be really important next week post quad what direction the market goes and if we can hold it. But that is going to be this 19,610 area below us, and then we have the halfway back from lows in the relative range, which is right where we are currently trading. Now, with the title of the video, that lower mid going to be this green line. Right now it's a 19,786. At any point in time today, I will be interested in the potential setups that we have that are within, say, 20 points of that, or maybe even a touch, and it's going to depend. Now, yesterday, we started ripping off the open. And just straight up, and it wasn't until we basically got to the top of the range, we swept the overnight low, and that was it. And then it was a total trend change the remainder of the day. We had this first, zoom in here, traditional short. So you have these red and green, red and blue, or single prints, right? So we have a red single down crossing back through the most recent single up. We trade into a 50% retracement, and then we basically start rotating lower. This ended up being used as an anchor for the rest of the day, this 11 o'clock low. We used it here. We traded the targets. We had a same anchor new low. Traded the 38, traded the 50. And then in the overnight session, we traded it again. And we've run to target. So I'm going to look at that anchor as a potential scenario here today. So we're looking at what is the 11 o'clock low to the low, whatever that may be. And that 38% retracement right now lines up with that lower mid. So it's going to be a while until it trades, but I do think that's going to be a pretty solid sell. So the 11 o'clock anchor to whatever the low is, you're going to have to continue to adjust. If we make a new low, that's going to be the setup here. But as we open, I will not be trying to pick a bottom whatsoever here. I'll just let it play out. I'm not sure we're going to stop until I see either a trend bar higher or an inverse single. Like yesterday we saw that that red print single. I would need to see a long single print or fair value gap, as well as a blue bar or trend bar. That would indicate to me that lows have been put in. Otherwise, the most aggressive thing you'd want here would be yesterday's low from 230 to low. That's the most aggressive selling setup, I would look for the low of the prior day to low. That's an extension to extension. Okay, and I will leave that up because that's probably going to be actionable off the open. But if we trade down into the discounts first, I wouldn't be interested. Now, if we go up and break this, that's going to set us up for that higher time frame setup. But I would say if you're looking for one clear setup here today, keep it simple. The 11 o'clock anchor from the prior day to low, wait for that to trade. It's quad width, so I'm probably not going to be trading the second part of the day, only the first part of the day here. So I am going to be a little more active this morning, hoping to see we can get one of those. Now moving on to the S&P 500, we'll back out here to the hourly chart. One of the things that's interesting here, the ES has not got its full halfway back from last week's low or whatever low, the low from the 13th of March. And that very well could trade today. And sometimes when the ES gets its low, that's when the NASDAQ ends up finding its level. So that's going to be something to pay attention to here today. Once the ES completes 5640s or trades down to it, I would not be itching to get short after trading that level. You're also going to have this gap fill from the futures rollover. Not that that's like incredibly significant as far as support, but we will be running into the full halfway back long and the gap fill from the rollover. Now, the ES has kind of the same thing. From the overnight session, we could not get above yesterday's midpoint. I mean, not whatsoever. We have just basically held below that and cracked. There's arguably a series of traditionals lower, but same thing. You got that 11 o'clock low to low, traded in the ES once a target. We had it here twice. Low of the day at that time was the target. Same anchor new low, traded into the close, and we're down here through that negative 61. We might even be getting down to the negative 100 here, and the negative 100 once again is going to be at that discount zone. So once we get to that discount zone, that's about the only place really I'm confident in a potential reversal because of the confluence that I mentioned, which is now three things. It's a negative 100 and then two variations of longs, but then you want to see some price action confirm that. But I am going to just draw that same anchor new low, and once again, that setup at the lower mid. Okay, let's see if this lines up here. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So I think both the ES and the NQ, if you want to make today easy, literally just limit. You could basically limit those levels. You could place an order there right now. If we make a new low, place another one and just wait for them to trade, because I do think they're going to get a reaction when they do. And that's kind of my simple plan for today. So with that being said, I'll share these levels with you guys in the room. Everybody trade safe. Have a great day. Wonderful weekend. And I'll catch you in the morning trade plan.